Good evening, everyone. Today is Monday, March 30th in the year 2020. And this is a little video with a little update on my Warre beehive system. I have 3 colonies of bees here, and they are on day 20 of existence. So on March the 10th of this year, within 2 days span, I got 3 wild swarms that I purchased from someone who caught them. And just doing a little check, and so wonderful that these Warre beehives have a little hatch with plexiglass that you can check. And if you look, this is hive number 1, and this is the only one that I can see visible pollen in the comb. So with the Warre system, if you're not familiar, it has top bars. So if we look down in there at this yellow box, those sticks are the bars. So it's a frameless system. There's no pre-made frames or pre-made wax. We just painted the underside of these strips with wax, and that encourages the bees to make their comb in that way. Oh, okay, if I do this, you can see where the bars are. So within 3 days, they started laying down the wax. So this makes the wax part of it completely edible once the honey is harvested. But what I find so interesting is the pollen. Look at that. Let's just set the camera there for a minute and just watch these wonderful creatures at work. And it is about 6:30 in the evening or so, so we're about 30 to 45 minutes Central Time, 30 to 45 minutes from sunset, and everyone's back in the hive from their pollen gathering and nectar gathering. This is South Louisiana, so we do have clover. I'll pan around. I do have some circles of plants here. The dead stuff that you can see there is from the fall. I have chickens also, and I've soaked their scratch, which is a non-GMO 5-grain, it's really seeds, scratch, and I planted them in circles here into some wood chips that had been aged for about a year, and that blooms different things, and I just let it go to seed. I did not cut it down. Now in the here and there, I have 4 citrus trees that are in blossom right now, so planted that. But if you look around here in the distance there, those strips of grassy stuff are just test strips that I let grow to see what endogenously is seeded on my property here. But you can see where I have clover all over the property. So I left as much as I could when I mow. And let's get back to the action here. So this is hive number 1. And these bees have been so gentle. Just, I know you're not supposed to get in front of the hives, and I'm brand new to this, y'all. All I've done is YouTube University and about 20 different books that I ordered and read. But you never know what things are going to really be like until you get into it yourself. It's just fascinating. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for in here. I'm thinking that these white, yellowish, cream-colored bits here may be larvae? I don't know. If I end up posting this to YouTube or something and someone wants to chime in, please do. I'm trying to go as natural as possible. I did give sugar water with organic sugar crystals in a 1-to-1 ratio just until it ran out, and that took about 10 days. Just because the 1-to-1 ratio encourages wax formation. So We did that, and that ran out a long time ago, but we still have bees up here just corralling. I guess they're waiting for more, but I'm really trying to not do that. I really would like for the bees to just have as natural an existence as possible, to build their immune system and hopefully be a little more parasite and disease resistant. Okay, so I will close this one up and go to hive number 2. I just have a chicken feed sack here that I'm kneeling on because I have a lot of, I'm on a wood pallet here. Let me just kind of pan around and show you how I did this. So I have 4 hives. This one here is empty. I just have 3 colonies. This is number 1 where we just were, and then 2 and 3. And I put four pallets together and covered it with some 2x material, screwed it down like to make a floor. We have the black part is screwed into the floors of the hives, and then I have them strapped down because we are in hurricane country here, and I don't want to have to worry about any of that. Or my neighbors' animals have been known to, the fence line there's the property line, and there's cattle and pigs and goats, and when there's a breach in the fence, their animals end up on this side. So I went ahead and made everything as secure as possible. So this is hive number 2. Okay, sorry about that. So again, let's take a look in here. Empty feeders. We got, again, some nice comb formation. I'm not seeing pollen, but I'm sure it's in there. It's just not on the edge here. Let's see if we can get, oh, look at the propolis. Wow. So propolis is, oh, and I'm putting my nail on it. That is really hard. Yet when I stick my nail, it's a little bit, it gives a little bit like a sugary candy wood. But propolis is what I would refer to as like the caulking. So the bees will seal off the area as best as possible to keep things clean and dry and climate controlled. Now, I don't see much on that side, but maybe they're thinking about it, huh? Okay, so let's see if we can go. Oh, look, I think I see larvae there too, if that's what I'm looking at. See the those slanty cream colored bits. As I'm just around my property and observing, have noticed that the bees have pollen pockets. So they collect pollen and they, looks like little saddlebags on them when they're flying around. It's very interesting. I am getting some reflection off this plexiglass, so I don't know how well that's going to capture. Okay, let's close this up and go to hive number 3. I do have the roof lines numbered, but the other 2 are, the roof is flipped the opposite way, so I really would have to come out here and flip that around. Again, this was the feeding station on the top box. And you can see they're just kind of meandering around in there, but no formation in there. And then this is the comb box. And this wax is very much more of a yellow color, I guess pollen, than the other waxes, which seem to be more white. did not mark the queens. The guy who I bought the bees from was a little bit leery about it. He had never done it before, and he didn't know if it would affect them in any way. So I have not really spotted a queen. We saw them, I mean, he had them in queen catcher, so I know that there's a queen in every box, and we left the queen excluder on for a week, and then I removed that so that if they were virgin queens, they could take their mating flight. But, not seeing the pollen like I am in the other one, Hive 1. Just super fascinating little creatures. All right, that's it for today.